Good morning, dear students. We have begun our studies in nuclear chemistry. In your previous class, I have taught what is nuclear chemistry and what is the difference between the nuclear chemistry and other part of the chemistry, I said. Then also, we have studied what is binding energy, what is mass defect, and also we have learned how the stability of the elements depends upon the binding energy. So in the examination, if it is asked, explain how binding energy is related to the stability of the elements, then whatever I have explained, you have to write in the form of taking the graph also, right? So today I will show the rough graph like this. You have to plot a graph of binding energy along the y-axis and mass along the atomic masses along the x-axis, right? So when we plot a graph of binding energy and the mass of the elements, the radioactive elements or in general elements, we get a plot like this. Now this peak is of iron. I have already said the iron atomic mass 56 and it has got the binding energy 8.5 and hence it is highly stable element. I said more is the binding energy, more will be the stability. And the least hydrogen has got the atomic mass 1 and its binding energy is 0. In other class by mistake I said it is 3.2. You correct it, make a correction there. The binding energy of the hydrogen is 0 because already there is only one proton, it is already separated, okay? So its binding energy is 0. And next element is oxygen. Oxygen atomic mass is 16. In your previous class I have written the molecular mass of oxygen, right? So don't write in the examination molecular mass. You write the atomic mass of oxygen, that is 16. And it has got a binding energy 7.9. 7.9. So, and slowly, once again as the atomic mass is increasing, uranium 92 to 35. So atomic mass 235 is that of uranium. It is decreasing. It has got the binding energy 7.1. Hence it is less stable. Therefore, when you destabilize that uranium, it breaks up into the other nuclei. So this is the explanation that you have to write taking the graph. Is it okay? Now today, we shall continue from where we have left. Okay, I have already explained the types of nuclear radiations, right? Alpha, beta and gamma, and also you studied their properties also. Now, we shall study what is decay constant. It is denoted by lambda. Let us see what is this decay constant. Let us take a radioactive element A. Let us assume that at the time t is equal to 0, N0 be the number of radionuclei present in that element A. Is it okay? At the time t is equal to 0, the number of radioactive nuclei present in this radioactive element A is equal to, we assumed it, N0. Now let us assume that this radioactive element starts decaying. So it begins to decay. Let us say at a time t is equal to t seconds or in a small interval of time dt. In a small interval of time dt, let us assume that dn number of nuclei disintegrates. So Follow this what I said. When a time t is equal to t seconds, or I said in a small interval of time dt, let us assume that this A starts disintegrating, then how much nuclei have been disintegrated? Dn number of nuclei disintegrates. Now if I write the rate of decay, the rate of this reaction, nuclear reaction, it will be dN by dt. The rate of this nuclear reaction is dN by dt. A small change in the number of radioactive nuclei within a small interval of time dt is proportional to the amount of the nuclear element present at that particular time. Is it okay? At what time we are calculating this rate of reaction depends upon the number of radioactive nuclei present at that particular time, and let us assume that it is n number of radionuclei present at that particular time. And I will write here minus sign because with the time, as the time increases, the number of radioactive nuclei goes on decreasing. Followed what I said? So the minus sign indicates the number of radioactive nuclei goes on decreasing with increase in time. So therefore we have written minus dN by dt is directly proportional to n. Now we shall further simplify this equation. Minus dN by dt. When I remove this proportionality sign, I have to place a constant, that is lambda. Therefore, this lambda is called as decay constant. So remember here, see, whenever we write some constants, we forget about the importance of these constants. Is it right? So whenever we write the constant, much of the properties of that substance or element under study depends upon the constant value. So here minus dN by dt is equal to lambda n. Now further I will write this equation like this. So lambda is equal to dN by dt divided by n it is. So this is decay constant equation is equal to what we are getting? Lambda is equal to minus dN by dt upon n. So what is decay constant then? Let us define what is decay constant. It is the ratio of the amount of the radioactive nuclei disintegrated to that of the amount of the radioactive nuclei present. I repeat this definition once again. So what is decay constant? It is the amount of the radioactive nuclei disintegrated to that of the amount of the radioactive nuclei present at that time. So this is decay constant. Now, from this equation, I will call this as 1, this as 2. From this equation, let us simplify this equation. So I will write dN by dt or dN by n I will write. dN by n is equal to minus lambda dt. Is it okay? I have altered this. dN by n and minus sign I have taken this side. So it is minus lambda dt. Integrate both the sides. So when we integrate, okay, I will write the integration sign here itself. Is it okay? So integration of 1 upon n with respect to dN is log e to the base e n it is equal to minus lambda is a constant, I will take it outside. Integration of 1 with respect to dt is t, and when we integrate, in integration we keep the constant, and let us write that c the constant, so it is integration constant. So here I have written the natural logarithm. Is it okay? Now I will call this equation as number 3. Right? So we got log to the base en equal to minus lambda t plus c. Now look, when the t is equal to 0, so when the time t is equal to 0, the number of radioactive nuclei dissociated or decayed is equal to 0 then. So nothing has been decayed, therefore n becomes what? N0. N0 is what? We have assumed that time t is equal to 0. N0 is the number of radioactive nuclei present in the element A. So therefore, I have written here when t is equal to 0, n becomes what? N0. So let me substitute these values in the equation 3 then. So it becomes log E N0. So in place of n, I have written N0 minus lambda, okay, into t. T is what? 0. That means it becomes 0. That equal to what? C then. So we got, by substituting these values in this equation, we got C is equal to what? C is equal to this log to the base E N0. So I will substitute this equation 4 in equation 3 then. So it becomes log E to the base En equal to minus lambda t plus. So what is C there? It is log to the base E N0. Is it okay? Now I will write this term this side. It becomes log En minus log to the base E N0 equal to minus lambda t. Now further, you know very well what is log n minus log n0. So we will write what? Log A upon B. Is it right? Log A minus log B, we will write it as what? So log n upon log n0. Is it okay? So log n minus log n0 is written log to the base E n upon n0. That is equal to lambda t. Now further we can write this equation n upon n0 is equal to e raised to lambda t. So minus lambda t it is. Is it okay? So n upon n0 is equal to e raised to minus lambda t. So what you are noticing from this equation, n upon n0 is what? The number of radioactive nuclei decayed. So it is, you are seeing from this equation, it is exponentially depending upon what? The time. Is it okay? So the number of radioactive nuclei dissociated is exponentially depending upon the temperature. Is it okay? So this is the equation we have derived. That is n upon n0 equal to e raised to minus lambda t. Now, having derived this decay constant equation, now let us see what is half-life period. Next definition, half-life period. So what is half-life period then? It is the time in which, it is the period in which half of the radioactive element dissociated. If you take 100 grams of A initially, in half time the 50 grams of A has been dissociated. That is the meaning. So the half-life period of a radioactive element is, it is the time in which the 50% of the radioactive element decays. Now this equation, so that is when the t is equal to t half, when the time t is equal to t half, so n becomes n0 by 2. Is it right? N becomes what? n0 by 2, half of the radioactive nuclei. So let me put these two values in this equation. So we got n upon n0 is equal to e raised to minus lambda t half. So n is what? n0 by 2. So n0 by 2 upon n0, that is equal to e raised to, okay, here e raised to lambda t half, where t I have replaced it by t half, right? So this n0 will cancel. So half is equal to e raised to minus lambda t half. So now This I will alter it. Therefore, lambda t half is equal to log to the base e 2 it is. Log to the base e 2. So therefore, lambda or t half is equal to, now this natural logarithm I will convert into the common logarithm. So 2.303 log to the base 10 2, okay, divided by this lambda I will write here, and this is equal to 2.303 into log to the base 10 to log of 2 is 0.3010. If you multiply this, you get 0.693. So in other words, t half is equal to, right? So I must write here lambda, and this is divided by lambda. Therefore, t half is equal to what we have got, 0.693 divided by lambda. So what you are noticing from this equation, the half-life period of a radioactive element is entirely a constant value. That means it is not depending upon the initial concentration or initial number of the radioactive nuclei. Is it okay? So half-life period of a radioactive element is a constant value because both are is constant. Lambda is also a constant. Constant divided by constant is nothing but a constant. Therefore, half-life period of a radioactive element is independent of the initial amount of the radioactive element. Is it right? So today we have derived the equations for decay constant, and we defined there what is decay constant, and we have defined what is half-life period, and we have derived what is the equation for the half-life period. Remember, in the examination, the problems will be given 2 marks or 4 marks, right? He may give half-life period of a radioactive element, ask you to calculate the lambda decay constant. Reverse, he may give the lambda value, decay constant value, and ask you to calculate the half-life period. So be aware of this. So we shall continue with this further in the next class. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you very much.